LeBron takes on the Heat. Steph squares off against Giannis, and KD and Kyrie head to Boston.
Then it's LeBron versus Luka, followed by Kawhi and the Clippers against the Nuggets.
Greeny, all of the games on ESPN and ABC.
And Get Up and First Take will get your day started telling you what to watch for and what to expect.
A Hoops Christmas to remember, starting with Get Up and First Take.
That will be fun. Meanwhile, tonight is opening night in the NBA, and we will see, among others, the Lakers beginning their title defense against the Clippers. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the rest of the crew, the favorites to win the NBA title again this year. Meanwhile, having swapped out Doc Rivers for Ty Lue, the Clippers are hoping to make the first finals run in that franchise's history in their second season with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Meanwhile, the first game of the season will feature the new-look Nets hosting Steph Curry and the Warriors. Curry missed most of last season with a broken hand, and tonight he'll be going up against his former teammate, the former Warrior, finally making his Brooklyn debut. Kevin Durant set to play for the first time since the 2019 finals. Here's KD on taking on his old team.
I feel like each game is important to me, and it's no more of importance because I'm playing against my old teammates. And I try not to make myself bigger than the group, but I know what I add to a basketball club, and I felt that way with the Warriors. So it wasn't about me going to the Nets to try to prove that I can make my own thing, whatever the hell that means. It's just that I'm coming here to play basketball and add to a group of great guys.
You know who's ready for the season? Malika Andrews is definitely ready for the season. And let's talk, there's so much emotion involved in this one, obviously, with the Warriors going up against KD. How do the Warriors feel about this being the opener?
Well, Steph Curry said that he's looking forward to seeing Kevin Durant again, but he said, you know what, we're going to play them once and then we don't have to see them again for a while. So everybody calm down just a little bit. But Steph said that he always is going to have a bond with Kevin because not only did they build one of the greatest teams, maybe the greatest team in franchise history, he said that they became a part of the greater NBA history in what they achieved on and off of the court. And so he says that he expects there to be some sort of reunion, whether it's at Chase Center where they are currently or at Oracle at some point, because he knows what this basketball team has meant to fans, what it's meant to the league. And so he's looking forward to seeing Kevin again, he said. Yeah.
And so in the long run, the overall health of Kevin Durant is by far the most important piece of this. What do we know about his situation physically?
Well, Kevin says he's feeling good. He said that he's not quite in mid-season form yet, but it isn't mid-season, Greeny, so maybe he doesn't quite have to be. He said that before preseason games, he was getting some nerves, but now he said those jitters have calmed down as he's heading into the regular season and has those 2 preseason games under his belt. But Greeny, I did ask Steve Kerr if he'd had a chance to see his former player on the court in the preseason, and he told me he watched that game that the Nets played against Boston and said that he couldn't see a difference between the way Kevin Durant is playing now and the way he was playing pre-Achilles injury. And he told me that that should be scary for the rest of the league.
The NBA season tips off tonight. Remarkable. Malika, outstanding thing.
I'm the best from the city.
Lob to AD.
Honey fiend chasing green, do the best for them all. Shooting hoops, remember playing ball right at Apollo.
Let's go.
I'm the latest in my city.
Good music and the NBA both back on Tuesday. Lakers, Clippers, second half of the doubleheader. NBA did it in the bubble to end last season. This time the NBA players are in the real world with real consequences. Threat of infections and cancellations. The few openers that will have fans will be small crowd affairs. Clippers, Lakers, no fans for the foreseeable future. Here's the commish.
I've acknowledged it was a mixed sort of health and safety and economic decision to start our season, meaning that, you know, health and safety have always been our highest priority, but we recognize that if we hadn't started the season, there are also very dire economic implications. What we've said before in terms of our projections, at an extreme, if you had played the entire season, including playoffs, with no fans at all, that would be a decrease of roughly 40% in our revenue. You know, the view is, I think if we found a situation where our protocols weren't working, meaning that not only did we have some cases of COVID, but that we were witnessing spread, either among teams or even possibly to another team. That would cause us to suspend the season.
Adam Silver there, and now to the People's Commissioner, Rachel Nichols. Adam Silver talking about COVID, also talked about some other things, and one thing really stood out to me. It got me in my soul. Rachel, what was that?
Well, Kenny, I want to speak to you and all of your Seattle brethren. For the first time in a long time, Adam Silver said that the league was, quote, dusting off some of the analyses on the economic and competitive impacts of expansion. Now, I want to note the NBA hasn't awarded an expansion team in 18 years, and doing it right now, Adam said, not yet on the front burner, but he did say, quote, we have been putting a little more time into that than they were pre-pandemic. And that, of course, is an allusion to the fact that if the NBA sold the rights to an expansion team now, it would then net the league at least $1 billion, money it could use. So, Kenny, I think I hear Seattle's theme music. It is time to dig those Bring Back the Sonics t-shirts out of your drawer.
Yeah, we got a new building being completed. Also, I'm going to put a vote in for Vancouver. That was a nice little Northwest thing we had going. All right, I don't know everything, but one thing I do know that the rumors are now facts. James Harden does not seem to want to play basketball anymore in Houston. They're trying to make a deal. Who knows where it's going to be? Here's what he had to say about it.
James, now that you've been in camp for about a week, do you feel any better about this situation now than you did before you arrived?
Next question.
So he didn't want to talk about it. Do you? Yeah. And where is this thing going?
Well, look, the big question is, when is he going to be dealt? And the truth is, he's going to be dealt when there's a team that's desperate enough to have him. And right now, I don't see a team that's in that position. And I'm phrasing
your podcast.
Yeah, longest season in NBA history, followed by the shortest offseason. We're inside of 24 hours to tip in Brooklyn. First game of the season will be a reuniting. Former Sonic Kevin Durant, now with the Nets, up against his last team, the Warriors. First game in league play since the Achilles injury suffered in the 2019 title series. Here's Durant on facing his old team and a new chapter in his career.
Playing against old teammates never really ratcheted me up. I feel like I always am on that level no matter who's on the floor. I feel like each game is important to me, and it's no more of importance because I'm playing against my old teammates. And I just feel like the game of basketball is going to have me on that level anyway, and it's going to be good to see some of my old teammates, good to play against them.
I know how important those championships were to you with the Warriors, but in making the decision to come to the Nets, how critical was it just to have something that you can call your own, so to speak?
I try not to make myself bigger than the group, but I know what I add to a basketball club, and I felt that way with the Warriors. So it wasn't about me going to the Nets to try to prove that I can make my own thing, whatever the hell that means. It's just that I'm coming here to play basketball and add to a group of great guys.
Well, the pairing of Durant and Curry in Golden State was one for the books. They were just the third duo to average more than 25 a game in 3 straight seasons each. As for Curry, coming back from injury himself, Maria Taylor caught up with number 30 ahead of a season filled with question marks.
He's back! Number 30, Stephen Curry!
With everything that you've been through, what will it mean for you to take the court, being able to play with your teammates again this season?
I mean, it's been a whirlwind, starting last year with kind of high hopes of reinventing Warrior basketball. And then I broke my hand and 4 months of rehab to come back and play one game, and then the season got postponed and we don't get invited to the bubble. Meanwhile, there's a pandemic going on. And